and Queen Camilla were among the final world leaders to meet Pope Francis when they visited the Vatican earlier this month. Charles says he's deeply saddened by Pope Francis's passing at the age of 88. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer paid tribute to what he called the Pope's tireless efforts to create a world that is fairer for all. Russian leader Vladimir Putin called Francis a defender of the highest values of humanism and justice. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni described the late pontiff as a great man and a great shepherd. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
It is Patriots Day in Boston. Sharon Lokedi breaking the Boston Marathon course record, winning on the women's side with an unofficial time, 2 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds. Fellow Kenyan John Career winning for the men's in the 129th running of the Boston Marathon. America's listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Making up for what might not be there. A partly sunny afternoon with nothing on radar now. It's 65 in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02.
Our conference committee report does include a $2 cigarette tax, which we talked about. They said was on the table, which we've been talking about.
State Representative Greg Porter talking about how House Democrats want to help make up for state budget shortfalls of nearly $2.5 billion expected over the next 2 years at a press conference Monday morning.
That generate $800 million.
He's also talking about the possibility of extra taxes on all tobacco products. Porter says he feels Democrats, though, are not really being included in the talks about the budget. 2 chases to tell you about. One was in Indianapolis Sunday just after midnight. Indianapolis Metro Police say they chased a car when they heard gunshots downtown, and when they finally got the car stopped on South Meridian Street, 2 13-year-old boys jumped out and ran. One was quickly caught, the other put in cuffs with the help of a K-9 and a drone. Another chase from Fort Wayne to Whitley County. Ryan Hedrick has that story.
Fort Wayne City was called to respond to a possible homicide.
That's Indiana State Police Sergeant Wes Rollator.
When they arrived on scene, a vehicle matching the suspect description had left the scene and fled. They took chase. The Indiana State Police backed them up in that pursuit, which ended up here in Whitley County.
And he says that's when an officer fired their weapon. He says any cop that fired their weapon will be placed on administrative leave while Indiana State Police look into this. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
On the death of Pope Francis.
It's a sad day, but it wasn't unexpected. You know, we know that Pope Francis has been ill for quite a long time. And certainly, his death is still a shock because we thought he was on his way to recovery.
Deacon David Bartolowicz, Director of Deacons with the Archdiocese of Indianapolis.
I'm frustrated when I hear people insinuate that he was trying to change the church.
He says Pope Francis did not change any church teachings. Now a conclave will convene at a yet-to-be-appointed time, and Bartolowicz says the next pope will be chosen in a prayerful manner with direction from the Holy Spirit. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here. Have you heard about impact-resistant shingles? They're the smart choice for protecting your home from harsh weather. And here's something you may not know. Most insurance companies offer discounts on your premiums if you install them. At the Michaelis Corporation, we offer top-tier Category 3 and Category 4 impact-resistant shingles that stand up to the toughest storms. From hail to high winds, these shingles offer a 30-year warranty that stands by their durability. And when a weather event hits, don't worry. Let Michaelis perform a free inspection of your property to ensure everything is in top condition. We don't inspect the roof at ground level. Our experts will safely climb onto the roof to check for damages. Roof, gutter, siding, windows are all inspected for storm damage. Michaelis Corporation provides over 35 years of disaster restoration. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY.
Crash cleared on the south side, Emerson Avenue at McFarland Road. Inbound 65 slows from 21st down to Meridian Penn, and a slowdown inbound Pendleton Pike. Slow right down from Franklin Road to 465. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy and breezy for the day today. Highs reach 67. Cooler conditions tonight under partly cloudy skies. Lows will fall to 48. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
So, Hammer, violence in Indy over the weekend, right? Car chases, shots fired downtown, tourist areas involved. But there's a but.
There is a but.
There's a but. I'm not minimizing what happened, the crime that took place. But if we're talking progress, if we're talking minimizing and reducing those certain violent crimes, Indy looks like it is progressing on homicide numbers. But it's kind of skewed though a little bit. There's a caveat, right?
So all the numbers we're getting ready to roll out for you include self-defense.
Oh.
Now, keep in mind that the mayor's office, they're trying to get the media to take away self-defense numbers, but yet they still want to compare them to previous years when they were compared with self-defense. So they're really trying to make the numbers look lower than they already are.
Is that what's happening?
It's a little bit of what's happening, but we're not going to do that here. So to my best ability, these are the active numbers right now in Indianapolis. For the first 111 days of 2025, 212 people shot, 57 people stabbed, 45 people killed. That's 269 people shot or stabbed so far this year.
We have a real knife problem, knife violence in this city.
We need to start having a Tuesday knife day with somebody. You know, we'll get the knife perspective like we do with Guy Relford on Mondays with the guns.
Monday gun day and then Tuesday knife day.
Right. But let's look at that homicide number here, 45.
I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to be serious here, but that was genius.
45 homicides in the first 111 days in Indianapolis.
Jeez, man.
Okay, that sounds bad.
It does.
But when you look at what we're on pace for, that means around 148 homicides for this year. That would mean we're down about 50 plus, close to 60 homicides pacing for this year. So that's a good thing, right? Because the last couple of years, it's been 200 homicides, 200 homicides, 200 homicides. All ridiculous numbers going back to when the city set the record a few years ago. Like, the city of Indianapolis should not have 200 homicides. It wasn't that long ago to where 100 was a huge, unacceptable number. Now it's 2. But right now, the pacing is for 148.
Okay.
So let's look at why some of these homicide numbers are down here. Number one, you tip your hat to some law enforcement, specifically the Crime Guns Task Force. They've been using this like regional approach of going after repeat offenders, violent gang members. Plus, you've got a couple different anti-violence groups. You've got Charles Harrison's group, 10 Point. They're out there doing some different things. The city pays for some folks to walk around.
Violence interrupters.
Right. So maybe that's helping a little bit. But more than anything else, I feel like it's been legislation that has been scaring some of these judges and prosecutors. So the prosecutor and the courts really tightened up after Representative Andrew Ireland, friend of the show, introduced some bills on rogue judges and prosecutors, i.e. Ryan Mears, and the judges here in Marion County.
Oh, yeah, sure.
To where this could be broken up into 3 separate elected offices, North, Center, and South. So you could actually maybe find somebody that's willing to be a prosecutor and not an activist. But
imagine that. What a novel concept.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows, though, Nige. Senator Aaron Freeman also had a bill that included a mandatory minimum bail for repeat violent offenders, but judges stripped that language out.
Of course.
But let's go back to this first bill from Andrew Ireland, the representative, based out of the South Side. This was passed, but the judges really fought and watered it down and succeeded. The bill was ultimately stopped by Republican leaders. Tell me if you've heard this before. Republican leaders acting like candy asses at the Indiana State House because they had the Supreme Court all in their ear saying, hey, there may be a little back and forth here on the separation of powers, and we'd really prefer not to have to deal with this down the road.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So there's some Supreme Court issues. We don't know whether or not it's simpatico with what we were proposing, so we're not even going to try?
Correct.
Is it?
And they just completely folded like a house of cards.
Oh, boy.
So,
come on, man.
But while all this was going on, you actually saw Ryan Mears, some of these judges in Marion County, dare I say, do their jobs. But now these bills have been watered down a little bit. Freeman's thing was kind of completely thrown out the window. They've watered down a lot of the language here. Once the General Assembly ends in just a couple of weeks, I'm wondering if we're going to get the good old grandstanding, soft on crime Ryan Mears and judges that we're accustomed to here in Marion County. Because at that point, if everything goes their way, and it looks like it's going to, they're not going to have to worry about a lot of the things that we were hoping they would, if that makes sense to everybody. They're scared of legislation right now, but once they clear the hurdle, and it looks like they're probably going to, it's going to be business as usual. Think of it as a classroom, Nige. When you were a kid and you were in that Liston classroom, the regular teacher was there.
North Salem, and then the Tri-West, but go ahead. Yes.
When you were in that classroom, the regular teacher was in there, you probably behaved a little bit better than when the substitute teacher came in. And
oh, man,
once you knew you could get away with stuff,
oh, man,
you probably did. Once these judges and these woke prosecutors who act more like defense attorneys than anything else, once they realize they can get away with what they had been doing, they're going to go back to it. These days of hard-edge prosecution are coming to an end.
The only difference between that comparison is that, like, there's not going to be any repercussions. So, like, when, the guys, he was an old codger in my 6th grade class, Mr. Dyke. Old guy. It's just we were raised hell in his class, but then he would write our names down on the chalkboard. Mm-hmm. And then when Mr. Compton came in back the next day, our regular teacher, he would see my name on the chalkboard. He came and took my full head of hair and used it as a gear shift. Don't you ever do that to Mr. Dyke ever again.
So you really were straight out of Compton. He would full Suge Knight on you.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Compton. I mean, that's the way it was back in the day, North Salem Elementary. But what you're saying is there's not going to be any repercussions like I had.
Right. These guys had to be on their best behavior while this possible litigation and these laws were being made. But once they realized that it's all going to be done here in a couple weeks and they're going to skate based on everything that we're hearing, it's going to be back to old freewheeling, just slap an ankle monitor on the most violent person imaginable and cross your fingers and hope they pay attention.
Nigel, you got diarrhea of the mouth. That was my substitute teacher yelling at me in 6th grade.
Didn't sound like a Compton accent there.
That was my substitute teacher.
Oh, okay.
But trust me, Mr. Compton didn't have a accent either.
Got it.
North Salem, Indiana, please.
But fact of the matter is, right now, homicides are pacing way down.
Okay.
But the other factor is the weather so far this year. Weather has not been great. We've had some really cold days. It's been rain. It's been flooding.
Are you factoring in the weather with this?
What do you think happens when the weather is nice in Indianapolis?
I know, but man,
it was Easter weekend and there was a shootout in the tourist area because it was nice.
Dude, and how about the 13-year-old kid stealing the car? 13-year-old.
Right.
13. There are a couple of 13-year-olds. My kid's 13 years old. That breaks my heart because that screams parenting. Right?
You're 100% right. And we talk about this all the time. These stories of these perpetrators are getting younger and younger. It used to be 16.
Oh, man.
Then 15. Now we're talking about 13-year-olds, carjacking people, pistol whipping people, a number of stuff. So there's a number of factors why this number is what it is right now. It could go up. I hope it does not. I really do, for the sake of the city, hope that some of these things are working. But you have to be tough on these judges. You have to beg your prosecutor to do his job. We'll see if that happens after the General Assembly. Okay, Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 465 slows around Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now it's 64 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Just real quick, I just had a thought pop in my head. You know, I was telling you about how when my teacher would come back in the next day after I misbehaved, after substitute teacher, there was also a guy sitting right next to me, and it was both of us, right? And he took both heads of our hair and used us like we were 0 degree turn mowers.
Wow.
You guys ever disrespect Mr. Dyke like that again?
Did he ever crack your heads together like Three Stooges?
No, we didn't. He wasn't cracking skulls like the Breakfast Club, but he was using our heads like he was on a 0 degree turn mower. Like
I love this guy. Is he still alive? I don't know. We need to get him on the show.
I believe Mr. Compton has passed away. But
you need to go to break on time next time. Grab both of our heads and... Poor Allison's over here waving her fingers. You got to hit a commercial break.
I swear to God, I never misbehaved again after that. I mean, and the thing is, if my mom and dad ever knew that I never told them that happened, they wouldn't have cared. They would have probably given the guy a medal or wrote him a check.
That's a generational thing, too, because my parents would have done the same thing. You probably deserved this, you little hoodlum.
Exactly.
100%. Guy Relford's coming up here in just about 15 minutes from Monday Gunday. Man, we're going to have a good time today. Let's laugh. Let's have a good time. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This May, you've got a chance to see what an IndyCar driver's dream garage really looks like. WIBC's Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana, takes you inside Graham Ray Hall Performance, a high-octane hangout where racing meets luxury. Hammer and Nigel sit down with Graham for great stories, laughs, and insights from someone who grew up on the hallowed grounds of the IMS. It's a backstage pass to speed, style, and surprises. Tickets available now at WIBC.com. Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
My man Hammer going to tell you about one of those awesome independent American Standard dealers in Central Indy. They're built to a higher standard.
Oh, Big Nige. How about Price Point Comfort? Price Point Comfort, your locally owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer that will give you the right price guarantee. I like that word, guarantee. They promise not to oversell or pressure you into buying a bunch of stuff you don't need. A lot of companies do that. They don't do that at Price Point. You get exactly what you're looking for. They can make some recommendations, but it's totally up to you. Price Point Comfort strives for customer satisfaction, so find them online, pricepointcomfort.com. That's pricepointcomfort.com, or give them a call, 317-455-1124. You can ask for James or Tyler. James or Tyler at Price Point Comfort. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Price Point Comfort, your independent American Standard heating and air dealer built to a higher standard.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and the lives of your children. This change can be good or bad. The outcome depends greatly on the attorney that you choose. So interview more than one attorney. Family law experience, especially trial experience, is important, but so is temperament and judgment. Also, remember to consider Cordell & Cordell. We've been serving men in divorce for over 30 years.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Hendricks County.
I'm IndyCar driver Graham Ray Hall, and you're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Yeah, man. Only a few tickets left for the 2025 edition of Tales from the Track. WIBC.com. I mean, that was as of a few hours ago. There were only, 24?
As of 10 a.m., there were only 24
So
tickets left.
I have not gotten an update since then. I don't know, but if you want to go, it's an experience. Monday, May 19th, Graham Rahal at the Rahal Performance Center, Zionsville. It looks phenomenal. You guys got to go in there. I was on vacation while you guys got to go take a tour of the place. I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be, again, a fun, a fan experience, and there's not many tickets left.
And it's a great way to kick off race week here
right.
at Indy.
Yeah.
It's Monday, May 19th. The Indianapolis 500 is that upcoming Sunday. So what a fun event. It's one of my favorite events we do every year, and we couldn't do it without great sponsors like Relay Indiana.
That's right.
They are the presenting sponsor. They do so much for not only us here at the radio station, but the community, the service that they provide. And backed by popular demand, Nige, Jack Daniels is back.
Oh, yeah.
We've done a couple events with Jack, and
the bowling, Red, White, and Bowl.
I think they like the way our audience drinks. So they're like, anything Hammer and Nigel do, we want to be a part of that. So get your tickets right now. With your ticket, you get dinner, a couple drink tickets, and then it's a cash bar afterwards. Picture, meet and greet with Graham Rahal. We're going to do a Q&A. You get to see the awesome behind the scenes of the Rahal Performance Center. Again, if you're into cars, if it's your husband, your dad, your kids, it's worth it. It's a bucket list thing.
While we're talking about events, should we thank everybody for showing up on Friday to Coach's Tavern?
That was so fun, man.
You and I did a live Hammer Nigel Road show down just a couple blocks down on Pennsylvania, and I had such a blast. I really, if I didn't have to help my wife prepare for Easter that night and the next morning, I would have Ubered.
Yes.
All right? Because the last time I Ubered for the bowling thing, my wife was gone, the kids were gone. I had responsibilities, unfortunately. But that did not stop me from taste testing the Metazoa, who were big sponsors of that event. That is a great company. That is a great brewer.
Zinc, Coach's Tavern.
Yes.
Oh, man. Allison, how did it sound on the air? We were there, and we were having a blast. How did it sound on the air?
You guys were having a blast. You were having a good party. By 5:20, are you okay with this? I was getting a little worried.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about us.
No,
this ain't our first rodeo, kid.
No, and it won't be your last. No, I thought it sounded really good. You guys had a party. I had a bit of a FOMO. I was in studio by myself, so it sounded like a fun time.
Yeah, we need to fix that the next time.
Right.
I'll just turn your mics on and then just leave the building. That'll work.
That's a good idea.
We call that pulling an Ari on this show. Back when Ari was our producer, he'd turn us on and run across the Chick-fil-A and Qdoba and we're trying to go to commercial break and nowhere to be found. But thank you to everybody that came out, man.
That was so fun.
Little podcast reunion. Some of our old friends, some of our new friends were there, and awesome stuff. Hey, we got some playoff action happening around the city.
Playoffs?
So tonight, up at the FEC, the Fishers Event Center, the Indy Fuel are in the playoffs of their division in hockey. And then tomorrow, over at the Fieldhouse, it's Game 2 of the Pacers and Bucks. Those mouthy, no good, rotten Milwaukee Bucks.
I mean, that was a fun game to watch. I had a bunch of family over on Saturday. We had that on in the background, but most of the weather was crappy, so most of the dudes were inside gathered around the TV and stuff. But it started to get a little close there at the end, didn't it?
They made a run.
Yeah.
They cut it from 25 to 13 or something pretty quick. But Pacers pulled away. Game 2 is this Tuesday, so if you're going to the game, be loud. And again, the Bucks are mouthy. Give them the business a little bit. Damian Lillard didn't even play, and he's over there wearing his Cosby sweater, running his gums.
A Cosby sweater. A Cosby sweater.
You could read lips, and I can't repeat what Pascal Siakam said to him, but it was pretty strong. That's all I'm going to say. You can find it on Twitter. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The legacy of Pope Francis. A clear radar this afternoon with partly sunny skies expected for the rest of the day and a high right where it is now at 65. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancti. That is happening today at the Vatican, and that is where Pope Francis is being remembered in a prayer service. But he was the Pope, and that means Catholics and spiritual people all over the world were influenced by the way he led the church. Fox's Eric Shawn.
Those are the bells. They're ringing in honor of the pontiff being called here the people's pope, who spread the teachings of Jesus Christ with the same humility and spirit of the Savior himself. Inside St. Patrick's Cathedral, there is a giant portrait of the late pontiff on the altar amid all the flowers. He's be remembered as a man who loved, an activist for social justice who stood up and remembered the forgotten. In Indianapolis, Deacon David Bartolowitz, Director of Deacons with the Archdiocese of Indianapolis.
Refocusing our efforts on serving the poor. That's the mission of the church, salvation of souls, and we're out to reach all people throughout the world. Pope Francis did that very well. He had a very pastoral approach to the teachings of the church. Again, he didn't change any theology.
The deacon says he was often frustrated by people saying that the Pope changed church teachings. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth briefly talking to reporters before the White House Easter egg roll this morning, where he discussed new reporting that he shared secret U.S. military attack plans with a second unsecured Signal group chat. The Defense Secretary denying any wrongdoing and instead blaming what he calls the fake news media.
They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
The New York Times says the reporting is based on 4 people with knowledge of the second chat. They say Hegseth's wife, his brother, and about a dozen other people were on that thread. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Not bad at the moment, Chris. A couple of slowdowns like inbound 65, slow roll from 29th to Meridian Penn, a 3-minute delay. Eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue to I-69. Eastbound 70 a little bit tight from west into the south split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Skies are looking to turn mostly clear for our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're in for a brighter and less windy Tuesday with highs finding their way into the mid 70s with dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Wilford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
Licensed firearms instructor, Second Amendment attorney, and scholar. Not our words, but nonetheless, he is host of the Gun Guy Show on Saturdays here on 93 WIBC. Guy Relford joining us live in studio. How are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gunday. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
Inevitable calls for any form of gun control after the college campus shooting, FSU, tragic. Multiple people died, multiple people injured. Whenever something like this happens, Guy, it's just like that's what it is. What it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah,
a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
and
even before all the proper information is out there.
We don't even know the information. We don't know details, but it's already gun control. Take guns away. And it just doesn't seem like people understand or will ever understand the ramifications of what happens when you do that.
Well, that's exactly right, Nigel. And what kills me every time that we see this happen is the all the different calls for gun control laws that would have no effect whatsoever on what actually happened in the particular mass shooting. And for instance, there's always people out there now jumping on this saying, well, we got to pass an assault weapon ban. We have to pass an assault weapon ban. This guy reportedly used a handgun and a shotgun. He didn't use a traditional rifle. He didn't use what people.
Isn't there a ban on murder?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Do I not understand this correctly?
Yeah.
There's a ban on committing murder. He had no problem breaking that law.
Exactly. And then he said, well, he's 20 years old, so wow, we need to make sure we raise the age to buy a gun. He didn't buy the gun. He stole it reportedly from his stepmother, who was a law enforcement officer.
Another law he chose not to adhere by.
Exactly. So stole a gun that he had no legal entitlement to. And yet people want to pass laws, on the backs of this tragedy, and on the really on the backs of the victims. They want to turn around and promote their political agenda in ways that have absolutely no effect, would have no effect whatsoever on this actual shooting. I think that's ridiculous.
The AR-15 one always gets me, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I feel horrible for the families. Thoughts and prayers to the victims. But I mean, the worst college campus shooting, we talk about it a lot. 32 people killed, 17 others wounded with pistols.
At Virginia Tech.
At Virginia Tech, yes.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the worst school shooting, and in general, and college campus shooting in particular. 2 handguns, and nobody's talking about banning handguns. So,
well, trust me, they want to.
Oh. Trust me, if they thought they could get away with it. But we now have a Supreme Court opinion in D.C. versus Heller that says handguns are specifically protected by the Second Amendment. So they're trying to whittle away around the edges of what the Supreme Court's already ruled.
And we're not just talking about liberal activists. We're talking about members of the media, too.
Oh, sure.
The stunt that Jake Tapper of CNN got caught trying to pull is ridiculous. Reset what happened.
Yeah, well, Jake Tapper, obviously, of CNN, long proponent of gun control and very anti-Second Amendment. He's talking about the Florida State shooting, and so he has on a guest, which he just introduced as a Florida State student. And he's kind of giving him the David Hogg treatment of, oh, you have to be so traumatized. This had to be. And listen, I'm not minimizing the trauma of going through a shooting on your college campus. That's not my point at all. But he's introducing him simply as a Florida State student.
So basically, if you didn't know who this guest was, you would think he's speaking on behalf of the bulk of students in Tallahassee.
Exactly, who have gone through, again, this horrible experience, which I don't minimize in the least degree, but he starts launching into this attack on the Republican-controlled legislature in Florida, saying, well, they've passed this law and they've passed that law, and it's all just ridiculous, and it's the Republican-controlled legislature that's responsible for all of this, and makes it a completely political issue, makes it a complete basis for attacking the Republicans. in the Florida legislature. And it turns out this guy who is actually in the running to be state chairman of the Democrat Party in Florida.
He's been a political activist for the Democrats, the state Democratic Party in Florida for years.
For years. Wow. And Jake Tapper ducks all that, hides all that from his audience, and just introduces him as a Florida State student. And the whole thing was a political hit job on the Republicans in Florida. And
designed to shape the narrative that the time is right. This is what the students think. This was one student who was a politico activist.
Exactly. And it was like, hey, here's a way to attack DeSantis. Here's a way to attack the Republicans in the Florida legislature. So let's prop this guy up just as a Florida State student when that was not the agenda. That was really not who he was there to speak on behalf of. He was there to speak on behalf of Democrats trying to regain control in Florida.
So let's talk about college campuses. I am someone who has a son that is on a college campus. I'm about to have a second one here in just over a year. Indiana is a state where we believe in the Second Amendment. The laws, many of which you've had a hand in, Guy, have been designed to protect that. But certain businesses, universities, private universities like the University of Indianapolis, they can kind of come up with their own rules and regulations. So what can a student do if you work in a place that is a gun-free zone, or you're a student and you go to a university that bans guns on campus? What can you do?
Yeah, well, first of all, that's a great way to put it, Hammer. And let's first of all reset what the law is. There is, in fact, a Gun-Free School Zones Act, both at the federal level and here in Indiana, but those both only refer to K through 12. So not colleges, and as well as licensed daycares. So the Gun-Free School Zones Act does not apply to college campus. So right now, if I wander through the campus of IUPUI carrying my handgun that I'm carrying right now, I'm not breaking a law. But to your point, colleges can set their own policy, and they can have policies that say you can't have a gun on campus. And if you're a student, we can expel you. If you're an employee, we can fire you. And if you're a visitor, we can ask you to leave. And if you don't leave, now you're trespassing. We can have you arrested for trespassing. So, but there is no law just against carrying a gun on college campus. So to some degree, students and staff need to balance their enrollment in the case of students, or their employment in the case of staff, against their personal safety, and decide for themselves which they find more important. And if they decide to carry, their students are absolutely facing expulsion. Students are facing the potential to get fired. There's also the likelihood, and every campus has a different set of policies, so I can't generalize, but it may be also possible to carry other self-defense weapons that are not necessarily firearms. So you can look at OC spray, which I'm a big fan of. I carry regularly. A lot of times people call it mace. Well, OC spray is kind of mace on steroids. A lot of times it's what police officers carry. And other potential fire. I posted on Facebook, and I made light of it because it was kind of funny, but I have a leather, it's essentially a change purse, but it's literally designed as a sap. If you've ever heard that term, some people call them sappers, but it's a design like a blackjack. It's on a strap. You swing it. It's a leather.
I saw you posted that.
Yeah, I posted it. Yeah, it's literally a leather purse.
Yeah.
But it's on a strap, and I got to tell you, this thing's full of change. It's got to weigh 1.5 pounds. I would not want to get hit with this thing. And it's legal on airplanes, although not all TSA guys might not necessarily let it through. But it'd be legal on a college campus, so people can avail themselves of non-firearm weapons potentially.
It's just frustrating, though, when law-abiding, good students are told you've got to work around protecting yourself, right?
Yes, right.
Like you said earlier, it shouldn't have to be, okay, you can either protect yourself or get kicked out of school. Like, those are, pretty extreme options. And when you're trying to talk to some of these folks at the university, we've had a conversation, there's a new report out that says armed citizens are the ones that are eliminating a lot of these threats more than resource officers or police departments.
Right.
When you try to talk to, these heads of university or heads of corporate offices, they don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear it. And that's why I think there's been an effort to really hide that data. But those studies that have come out, including the most recent one, which you guys and I have talked about, really makes the point. And you just said it, that private citizens, first of all, the reason they're better than police, according to the statistics, both in stopping mass shootings and in creating less collateral damage. They're less likely to kill bystanders. They're less likely to get hurt themselves than police. And that's not a criticism of police. I think in a big part of it, it's because they're already there. The armed citizen, like Eli Dicken in the Greenwood Park Mall, he was there. He was able to engage that shooter in 15 seconds. Police.
Those 2 minutes make a big difference. It takes for police to arrive, and that's best case scenario. It's 2 minutes.
That's the point. It's all about time and math. In other words, the more time it takes for the second gun to arrive on the scene, that is the good guy with a gun, the more people are going to die. A lot of times, just like Eli Dicken in Greenwood, he was already there. He was able to engage that mass shooter in 15 seconds and was able to minimize the damage to, again, 3 innocent people died. We never want to forget that. But how many dozens and dozens and dozens could have died if they had to wait the 10 or 12, 15 minutes for police officers
But there's always the narrative there that the anti-gun nuts say, well, if there's already one shooter there, I don't want 8 other shooters there trying to, crossfire. I'm going to get hit. No, trust me, if I'm in an enclosed nightclub, like the Pulse nightclub shooting or something like that happened years ago in Florida, I believe, like I want... If there's somebody in there indiscriminately firing, I want a good guy with a gun, maybe even if he's not as well trained as a police officer who is on his way to the scene. I'm sorry. I want somebody else in there probably trying to take the bad guy out, even though he doesn't have the skill level that you would or a trained police officer would.
Well, and that you're exactly right, Nigel, but that's the real impact in my mind of this recent study from the Crime Prevention Research Center that came out.
Yes.
In those mass shootings that have been stopped by civilians, less innocent people have got caught in the crossfire, been shot by mistake by that private citizen than occurs with police showing up to stop a mass shooting. And again, that's not a criticism of police. Is police have to be summoned to the scene. They don't necessarily know who's who. They're showing up cold. The armed citizen's already there and may have the ability to engage that person without the bad guy even knowing there's an armed citizen there, which is advantage to the private citizen.
Come back for one more segment?
You betcha.
It's Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, the gun guy, here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
In Indiana, spring means spring cleaning, getting organized, putting away winter clothes, hosting, just kind of hosing down the patio furniture, all of that stuff. Make sure to add refreshing your financial portfolio to the list. My friends at Trajan Wealth, the money management professionals, the fiduciary advisors, can provide that much-needed refreshing. Matt Bear here. Hey, at Trajan Wealth is Indiana to the core with principles like smart money management and hard work at their foundation. Call for your first consultation. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth, your fiduciary advisors, ready to customize a portfolio that reflects your timeline and your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
You support them. Who supports you? Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide insight, encouragement, and resources to help you navigate a loved one's recovery on the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Listen and get support wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer's got to look at the roads.
Crash downtown Hammer, College Avenue and New York Street. That whole area is a mess with construction right now. That's College Avenue between New York and Michigan. You can't even tell what lane you're in coming in on Michigan Street, as a matter of fact. So there's a crash in that area. Please be safe. Inbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 73-minute delay from Harding into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 60 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center here at the Hammer and Nigel show. Monday Gunday with Guy Relford. Guy, thank you for coming by on Friday to our show at Coach's Tavern, man. That was awesome. Thank you for swinging by.
That was so much fun. And like we talked about on the air, I mean, the first interaction on the radio I ever had with Hammer and Nigel was when you're doing your podcast there. And so that was a flashback for me. we had so much fun. We just had to use different language than we could use on the podcast.
And was that a decade ago that you first appeared on the Hammer and Nigel show?
It was almost 10 years, because it was right after I started my show.
Incredible.
And I'm having my 10-year anniversary in July.
That's awesome. Ann on the YouTube chat writes, I got to meet Guy on Friday, shook his hand. He's a very large man in person.
Yeah, I'm very observant, Ann. Thank you.
I met Ann, too, but she didn't write anything about me. Oh, I met Guy. He was so kind. He was so large. Oh, what a basket on Guy Relford. I didn't get anything here.
Well, I don't know. She may be telling me I need to lose some weight. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think that's the case at all. But, no, that was cool. And, again, listeners love you. When you walk into a room, it doesn't matter if it's Tony Katz, myself, Kendall, and Casey, you get the biggest round of applause, because I think people appreciate you're talking about something that's not always the most popular thing in the world, right? Yeah. After school shootings, after mass chaos somewhere, you are still all about the Constitution, and so many people appreciate that you don't cave to the media mob. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it's so much appreciated by me. But no, I mean, I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be true to that. I've been doing it too long to do it any other way. But, you know, when there is any kind of a response, and I'm always so happy to show up at the events you guys have, because they're always sold out. It's always a packed house. It makes it that much more fun when, you know, people show me a little appreciation, and it's appreciated right back. I think people understand that. I hope they get that from listening to me on my show as well.
What is coming up on the big show this weekend? Like, what are some things on your radar right now? Are we still talking about the Indiana General Assembly, or are we feeling pretty good about that if we move past that?
Yeah, we're kind of done for this year on 2A issues in the General Assembly. But we just had another Circuit Court of Appeals, it's a federal appeals court, come out and uphold an assault weapon ban, a state ban. This one in, I'm going to say Massachusetts. And so that's happened a couple times here recently. So we're going to talk about what's likely to happen at the Supreme Court level on issues like that, as well as what we can anticipate for next year. And we've still got a lot of good things happening within the Trump administration. A brand new bill was just filed to prevent the VA from taking gun rights away from veterans in certain scenarios. And we're going to talk a lot about that because just like you guys, we always support the veterans on our show, and we're really excited about this bill that can protect 2A rights for veterans. So
Saturdays
all that, a lot
here.
more.
Saturdays on WIBC, what time?
5 to 7 p.m. on Saturdays, absolutely.
On Twitter, at Guy Relford. You're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Man, I'm telling you, Mark Dietel, real estate expert here in Indy, knows what he's doing. David in Martinsville bought a dream property, but he had to sell the old place with the land by the end of the year to avoid getting that big tax hit. Mark got their property sold in plenty of time.
Mark Dietel is the best in the business. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. And what separates Mark Dietel from the competition is the guarantee. Why would you work with somebody else when you get this guarantee from Mark Dietel? Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. All you have to do is get a hold of Mark Dietel. He'll answer any question you have, 317-755-4232, or go online, markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now,
get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Attack and later died. Pope Francis was 88 years old. The Vatican announced this news of his passing at 7:30 this morning. He had battled with health concerns for years, including being hospitalized for 5 weeks earlier this year when he came down with pneumonia. Today, his death came as a shock to much of the world, especially after the very busy schedule that he had yesterday, meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance here, as well as speaking to the faithful.
Francis decreed in his will he be buried in St. Mary Major Basilica in Rome in a simple underground tomb. President Trump is ordering flags flown at half-staff.
Flags on military bases and federal buildings will fly at half-staff through internment of Pope Francis, President Trump has ordered.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
Vice President J.D. Vance met with Francis at the Vatican on Easter Sunday, one of the Pope's final public events. In a statement, Vance says he will always remember Pope Francis for the homily he gave in the very early days of COVID, calling it really quite beautiful. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is being accused of using another Signal group chat to discuss attacks on Yemen's Houthi rebels. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt tells Fox News the New York Times report is false.
They are lying about the Secretary of Defense. Let me reiterate, no classified information was shared in these chats. But you do have leakers who are leaking classified information, which is a crime.
The Times says its reporting is based on 4 sources with knowledge of the chat. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
If you smoke, dip, or chew. Some clouds for the afternoon and a sunny Tuesday on the way. The next rain chance, in fact, isn't until Thursday. It's 65 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. You should be aware that state Democrat lawmakers really do want to put an extra $2 tax on each pack of smokes and extra taxes on other tobacco products.
$2 a pack on the cigarettes would generate $800 million, and the other tobacco products will also generate potentially about $54 million.
Representative Gregory Porter of Indianapolis sees that as a way to help make up for the $2.5 billion budget shortfall predicted for the next 2 years. But he says it might not matter much to the party in the supermajority.
I've had conversation with Chairman Thompson, had a conversation with Senator Mishler, but other than that, we have not had any real conversations.
He says Republicans are crafting the budget without Democratic help. It looks like 2 people driving a car with their 3-year-old and 4-month-old in the back were not only high, but were dealing weed. A Bartholomew County deputy got behind the car Sunday night about 7 near Columbus, pulled it over for weaving, and found Trevor Kennedy appeared to be buzzed or high while driving. Found in the car were 16 pounds of marijuana, over 2,000 THC vape pens, a pound of THC wax, plenty of cash, a search warrant of their house, and 10 more pounds of weed, a gun, and more THC products. The kids are in the care of family. The NFL draft starts Thursday. John Herrick has remarks from Colts general manager Chris Ballard.
Ballard said Monday that going into the draft, you'll have a plan, but you also have to know that that plan can change at any moment.
Our pro staff does a tremendous job knowing what needs are for each team in front of us and behind us. I mean, that's what allows you to kind of navigate the board and when you move back or up, what you think you need to do.
The Colts pick 14th in the first round. The draft goes from Thursday through Saturday in Green Bay, Wisconsin. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You love spring in Indy, but you hate to paint, so do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house
painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Westbound 465, I see the police out with a stall. This is westbound 465, shy of the 865 interchange traffic. Gives stop and go right now past Michigan Road, a 3-minute delay. Crash downtown College Avenue at New York Street. Inbound 65 slow, 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 74 additional minutes from Harding to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Skies are looking to turn mostly clear for our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're in for a brighter and less windy Tuesday with highs finding their way into the mid 70s with dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Woke up to the news this morning that Pope Francis dead at the age of 88. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Trump ordering flags flown at half-staff to honor progressive Pope, the progressive Pope Francis. I think he was probably thought of as a little more progressive than his the previous Pope, Benedict.
He was the woke Pope.
He was, look, man, Benedict was like a right-wing guy that was traditional conservative Catholic. And it's interesting because Benedict, I was reading about this, started being the Pope, the papacy, is that what they call it? Did
the
I
papacy.
say that right? At 78, but then stepped down at age 85 because of, he's too frail couldn't mentally do the job, but he lived until he was 95. And that's when Pope Francis stepped in at the age of 76, died at the age of 88. So very interesting, too, very different. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of how they were different and their philosophies and things like that, but definitely a big deal. Definitely a huge deal.
He just met with J.D. Vance.
What's that? Yeah, I know.
He just met with him.
J.D. Vance, so many memes. Oh, dear God. Internet is so bad sometimes. Hey, J.D., he met with J.D. Vance on, I believe, Easter.
Right.
The Pope, the guy that just died. And then the next day, he's gone. And people are asking now, J.D. Vance, well, would you mind meeting with Putin next? Like listing off all these bad guys.
Right.
Which, Pope Francis, I'm not saying he was a bad guy. Different traditionally.
A lot of people didn't care for the work of this Pope. And I know that may be sacrilege or whatever. I'm not a Catholic, so I feel like I can speak honestly about this here. This was a super woke, progressive Pope, and I think a lot of folks that are devout Catholics were like, let's make sure we get this right next time.
There's a lot to be made of Pope Benedict, the guy before him leaving because he was mentally not all there and was in poor health.
It was like Biden.
Like Joe Biden,
yeah.
But yet he lived until the age of 95. And boy, Pope Francis was not in good health. He had just getting over double lung pneumonia. They were telling him to take it easy, man. Those guys, his advisors were saying, hey, but he never stopped. He did not stop. And I don't know what exactly happened, but I'm sure it had something to do with, pneumonia, or I'm speculating, of course, but he just got over double pneumonia. They said he was doing better, progressing well, but man, those pictures I saw him with J.D. Vance, and then he spoke. Well, he spoke through an intermediary, I believe, on Easter Sunday because he wasn't feeling that well.
I'm looking at a side-by-side meme right now.
Oh, no.
On the left is a picture of Kristi Noem. It says, "I kill dogs." On the right is a picture of J.D. Vance, and it's just blank. The internet, it's a-rolling.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around because J.D. Vance was basically the last official world dignitary
right.
the Pope met with.
He was like the Reaper. I mean, he met with Vance, and a couple hours later, bada bing, bada boom, we got some poping to do. We got to find a new one. And does it make me a horrible person that this Thursday on the Degenerates Next Door sports betting podcast, I'm going to lay out odds for the new Pope? That's going to be my degenerate special.
There's odds for the new Pope?
There are some overseas sports books that you can bet on who the new Pope may be. So I got some homework to do. I'm going to crunch some numbers, run some things through AI, and I'm going to give you the best breakdown on who the favorites are on the new Pope. So yesterday, before news of the Pope's death came out, Donald Trump kicked off Easter Sunday by going on Truth Social and ripping the Democrats. He accused Biden of being the worst and most incompetent president. He criticized the, quote, radical left lunatics, claims Biden cheated the 2020 election, but he also ties in some things for Easter. Nigel, the reaction from some people on social media, you would have thought that Donald Trump posted a video of him strangling the Easter bunny to death on social media.
It is no exaggeration. And the irony is the people that were posting their outrage aren't even, like a buddy of mine posted something. He doesn't even believe in God. Like, okay, that's fine. You could be outraged.
He was offended on Easter. His Easter was ruined. The atheist.
Easter was ruined. But you're an atheist, okay? Like, I wasn't even, thank God I kept it to a minimum. But these people that were out, I mean, people's heads were spinning. The liberal heads, they were, just melting down that Donald Trump would issue some sort of social media statement on Easter, criticizing Joe Biden and the Democrats, the people that tried to put him in jail, to weaponize the Department of Justice. Some people might argue tried to assassinate him.
Your kids would still be in masks if it were up to these people that you defend. And the worst people than that, like if it's a lib that actually owns it, okay, the worst. And there's a dude I used to work with at another radio station that put this out there. I'm in the middle. I'm a centrist. I'm the kind of person that, stop it. Stop it. We know who you are. You're too embarrassed to say you're a lib because your party believes in lifting up either MS-13 gang members or people who murder healthcare executives. Just own that, and then I'll listen to your little soliloquy about how, even though you're surrounded by the people you love on the most holy day, a post on Truth Social has ruined your Easter.
Well, Democrats are going to start buying property in El Salvador.
Right.
Like right next to the prison.
4 more House Dems are down in El Salvador right now. It's their Cool Rock and MTV Spring Beach house down there. All they're missing is Dan Cortez and Pauly Shore, and they're going to have all kinds of parties down there. But seriously, if your Easter Sunday, the most holy day, I think, on the American calendar, if it was ruined and you had to put like a 9-paragraph statement out on social media, that sounds like a you problem, Skippy.
Yeah.
And some of these people, and I know who they are, they're rotten bastards, right? The person that I used to work with that put this out there, there's so much dirt on this clown. Oh, my goodness. I'm not going to say who it is, but sweet mother of God, maybe pump the brakes a little bit on the lecture there, Skippy. Now, yesterday was Easter, and it was also 420.
Oh, wow, what a combination.
So 420, stoner national holiday.
Whatever.
420 is all about weed. Ask your stoner buddy. But it's also been known that the very next day, today, the 21st, is National Surprise Drug Test Day. So I hope you had a good time on 420, you stoners, you and your hippie lettuce, you freaks, because today is National Surprise Drug Test Day. And in honor, here is great moments in drug test history.
Oh.
Here is Donald Trump talking about Joe Biden and what they used to do to him to get him ready for debates.
They gave him a big fat shot in the ass, and he comes out. And for 2 hours, he's better than ever before. You know. The problem is, what happens after that? Nah, we're going to ask for a drug test. We are. I'd like to have a drug test. Both of us. I'll take it. He'll take it.
Great moments in drug test history.
I like it.
This is Mike Tyson doing an interview, and he was asked how he used to pass his drug tests.
We were talking earlier before we came in here about the Whizzinator, which was a prosthetic. You put clean urine.
Yeah, I put my baby's urine in it.
Oh my
and
God!
Sometimes I'm just hoping that one day I used my wife. My wife said, "Baby, you better not hope that he comes back pregnant or something."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, so we ain't gonna use you no more. We're gonna use the kid because I got scared that it might come back pregnant."
Mike, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You guys laugh, but the reason Mike Tyson is telling that story, and here's a report from an Ohio NBC affiliate about a former basketball star, DJ Cooper, who played for the Ohio University Bobcats in the MAC.
Ohio University Bobcats basketball player has been suspended from the game after a drug test revealed that he was pregnant. Actually, turns out that he turned in somebody else's urine for that drug test.
He turned in his girlfriend's urine, and
what a way to find out you're gonna have
college
a baby.
basketball was like, the good news is you're not on weed. Bad news is, DJ, you're pregnant. So I think we're going to need to get another sample. Matt Bayer, what's going on?
Crash downtown College Avenue, New York Street. Crash in Fisher, southbound 69 before Brooks School Road. This is a mess. Left lane is closed. And the right shoulder is also covered right now. We have semis on the right shoulder. Car into the guardrail in the left lane, and police are out there as well. So please stay safe and drive slowly as you approach Campus Parkway. That's where the delay starts. It only runs about a half a mile right now. Eastbound 465, stop and go. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 70 stop and go traffic Harding Street to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Get 2 slices of pizza plus a Mountain Dew 20-ounce, all for $5 with Speedy Rewards. Pizza time is now. Valid through April 29, 2025. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
You guys got a lot of growing up to do. I got a message, direct message on the Hammer and Nigel Show social media.
Okay.
Last week, J.D. Vance dropped the trophy for Ohio State.
That's right.
This week, he drops...
Stop. Don't even finish it.
A lot of growing up to do, guys. Right now, we got some cloudy skies. Breeze blowing through Indy, 60 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And a fun round of Is This Anything is next.
Employee pricing. That's right. At Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, you can get employee pricing across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay on F-150s, on Super Duties, Explorers, all of them with employee pricing. And if you need something a little smaller but still want to be able to haul the crew and cargo around, the Edge is the perfect choice for you. And you'll definitely enjoy the excellent fuel economy. Plus, it's loaded with safety features. Get more to your door with Andy Moore Ford. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. And if you need to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Employee pricing on all your favorite Fords are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com. Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Best are us when dreams sunk in. Best are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Best are us when dreams sunk in. Best are us.
At Hendricks, your cancer care is in the details.
You have questions, and our dedicated clinicians and expert oncologists will answer them.
You have hills to climb.
And we are going to climb them.
You have dreams, and we're here to help you chase them. You have cancer, and you have all the expertise,
The determination and the kindness of the entire Hendricks team.
backed by Mayo Clinic expertise.
It's not just cancer care.
It's Teresa Care. Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Hendricks County.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Is this anything? 13 police officers in the state of Montana were caught playing crime bingo while on duty.
Shut up. Is this like the kind of bingo we play, like a debate night bingo?
Correct. They filled in squares for things like do a search warrant on a car and others. Here is the Bozeman police chief talking about the game.
2 teams of patrol officers were engaged in a bingo competition where success in the game hinged on whether they engaged in actions listed on the bingo card. And then they filled in squares of things that they wanted to see happen or have happened in order to check off that box on the bingo card. So an example of one of those was to do a search warrant on a car, which in and of itself, that is part of their duties. The concern is if they manipulated anything in order to be able to search a car.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, I'm going to break the law just so I can get a checkbox on the made-up bingo card. You've got to hear Hammer. No, this is nothing. Here are some of the squares on the 13 police officers bingo cards. Are you ready?
Bring it.
Butt-ass naked. That was just one of the squares. That's all it said.
And I bet they crossed that off quite a bit.
Arrest 3 people out of 1 car. Drug DUI was a square.
Oh.
Foot pursuit was a square. DUI past 2 a.m. Square. I'll give you one more here. Team member hit on by arrestee. Square.
I totally want to play police and crime bingo. I totally want to play.
I do too. And by the way, just so everybody knows, nobody got in trouble. There was an inquiry or something like that. Even an outside attorney came in there in Montana. Nobody did anything wrong. Nobody checked nobody manipulated evidence so they could check a box on the bingo board.
Right.
But my favorite one, though, all it says in capital letters, butt ass naked. This is nothing if not hilarious.
Is this anything? A woman in Canada says she is at her wit's end because squirrels keep wrecking her cars.
Squirrel!
She is now on to her second car that's being destroyed by the furry little critters.
No.
Here is Laura talking about the issue.
The electrical was off, so we got into the driveway safely, opened it, and sure enough, the squirrels had been in. It was ongoing with that car until it got to the point where the mechanic said, get rid of it. They make a disastrous mess. They chew the wires. They put in leaves, branches, you name it.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, it sucks that you hear about those little bastards getting in your engine all the time if you park outside and they destroy your wiring. I love how the mechanic is like, yeah, just get rid of it. Okay, easy for you to say.
Right.
I've got to go out and buy a brand new car because I've got a rodent getting in there and building a nest.
Yeah, I need other options.
How about just connecting the two wires back together and we'll be on our way?
Correct. If we have to do a little southern fried chicken, then so be it here. But I'm not buying a new car.
I thought Eddie ate those things anyway.
Yeah, he found they were high in cholesterol. Which brings us to great moments in squirrel history. There was a video that went around a couple years ago of a little baby sister. She found a dead squirrel out in the backyard, and then she brought it into the house and freaked out all of her little bit older sisters.
Claire, put the dead squirrel down! Claire! Claire! Go outside. Claire, put the dead squirrel down. Claire, put it.
And this thing was like mangled, like it had been attacked, and
this poor little girl's holding it up so proud with a giant smile on her face. Look what I found.
Like she won a fishing tournament. She's holding it up, smiling. Great moments in squirrel history.
Okay.
I think this speaks for itself.
Do you hear it? It's a funny squeaky sound.
You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
Shh. I heard it too.
Is it gone?
Probably got scared and ran back into the tree.
The squirrel jumping out of the tree in Christmas Vacation.
Oh, incredible.
Great moments in squirrel history.
Did he actually yell, did Clark's dad yell squirrel when it jumped out of the tree or when it was on his back? When it was on Clark's back?
I think it was when it was on his back.
Okay.
Because he turns around.
Yes.
Squirrel!
That's it.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my bag. Sweatpants, huh? Didn't know we were keeping it casual this month. Yeah, I feel bloated every now and then.
You have to try new Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies. They have prebiotics to nourish good bacteria, probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, and postbiotics for immune support.
All that in one gummy?
Yep. So no sweatpants next time?
Not anymore.
Align 3-in-1 Biotic Gummies for gut health support. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The people in charge and what you should know about the smokes and the vapes. Partly sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tonight, sunny Tuesday, and clear skies through Thursday from there. It's 66 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
From my perspective, the reason why it isn't happening because they don't need us. And I think that's the way they feel. They will talk to us, maybe.
State Representative Greg Porter saying Republicans are leaving state Democratic lawmakers out of the talks on the budget for the most part. Porter says you may be hearing about cuts and cuts to services, but they would rather make up for a big budget shortfall with an extra $2 tax on smokes and extra taxes on other tobacco products rather than cutting. Happening right now in Roselawn in northern Indiana. Part of I-65 is shut down. This is near exits 230 and 240. If you're headed that way, you will be diverted off the interstate. It's because of a massive tanker fire. A tanker caught fire, may have exploded there this afternoon. Huge damage to the surface of the road, according to Indiana State Police. They say avoid that area of I-65. You may wonder why the Pope died a day after he was looking stronger. Fox's Kristen Goodwin.
A day of shock for so many who are still in disbelief that the Pope had died this morning. He was 88 years old. The Pope had a stroke. He went into a coma and later died of heart failure. This is after he had battled a series of health concerns throughout his life, and it was just earlier this year that he was hospitalized for about 5 weeks after coming down with pneumonia. Now, he became Pope in 2013 after Pope Benedict XVI stepped down. Pope Francis advocated for migrants' rights. He wanted to call for an end to the war in Gaza. He spoke about climate change, and all of these things gaining him advocates and supporters, but also fierce critics alike.
Governor Braun this afternoon directing state flags to be lowered in honor of Pope Francis. A pickup slammed into Evansville's fire department headquarters Saturday evening about 5:30. It's unclear why, but if you're going to have a wreck, what better place, right? They went to work getting the man out of the truck where he was trapped, but they say he wasn't really hurt that badly. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Slow in parts. Crest inbound 65's no roll. 29 to Meridian Penn. 3-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic. Harding Street to the south split. South side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from I-69 over to Harding Street. And a crash downtown College Avenue at New York. We are looking at southbound 69 bad crash after Campus Parkway before Brooks School Road. The left lane is blocked. Right shoulder covered. Traffic stop and go for about a half a mile to Oleo Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Skies are looking to turn mostly clear for our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're in for a brighter and less windy Tuesday with highs finding their way into the mid 70s with dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Your mortgage payments. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling is a nonprofit organization that has helped consumers in situations just like yours for more than 60 years. Our certified housing specialists will work with you to review your finances and create a custom plan that's right for your specific situation. NFCC member agencies provide free and affordable help and meet U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development standards. Call 866-687-6322 or visit mortgagehelpnow.org.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Am I reading this correctly, Hammer? A speed limit increase coming to 465? What?
It's a possibility.
Now, is this tied into the toll roads and stuff like this?
This is tied into House Bill 1461.
Okay, so yeah.
Road funding and all things and in between. The lead author in this is Representative Jim Pressel from Rolling Prairie.
Oh, beautiful time. This Rolling Prairie. There's no place I'd rather be than Rolling Prairie.
It used to be Prairie, but so many people smoke weed there, they call it Rolling Prairie.
Is that right?
I have no idea. But part of this is, yes, establishment of some toll roads, but also a 10-mile-per-hour increase on 465 from 55 to 65 miles per hour. Now, let me ask you this. While, yes, that sounds good, most people drive a little fast on 465.
I was going to say.
Is this really going to make that much of a difference? Because every time I'm on 465, it's backed up. Very rarely can you get up the speed, it feels like, on 465.
I think it's both ends of the spectrum. I think depending on where you're at in construction, you can't even get up to 50 miles an hour. And then there's other parts, like when I'm going home on 65 north, then you get onto 465, it's people driving at 90 miles an hour. So I don't know. Okay, fine, you're going to pass a law. Everybody goes 65 miles an hour on 465 anyway.
Right.
55 miles an hour is kind of a ridiculous speed for the loop, and I think people have been feeling that way for years. Ever since. I'm just saying, have you ever gone 55 miles an hour when you didn't have to?
No, but I get stuck behind the person that does. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
In the fast lane, going the same mile per hour as the other lane to where you can't pass somebody that's got, maybe one eye on the phone, one hand on the wheel, 55 miles per hour. There's a special place down in El Salvador for that person.
And then the senator from Maryland will, or wherever, Maine or wherever, will go come visit you. Now, I still say, okay, fine, you want to raise the speed limit, and there's some toll roads involved, whatever. People are doing 65 miles an hour, I would say, on average. I would love to see, like, the daily average of speeds on 465 that aren't hindered by construction or, afternoon drive or morning drive traffic. Because if you're not keeping up with traffic if you're going up 55 miles an hour on 465.
You're honestly causing more problems.
Yes.
Like our pal John Perrine has sent us messages before and said, hey, it's not just speeders that cause problems on the highway. It's people going way too slow.
You know what they did when this signal, when it was Radio Now 93.1, and we had our, I was doing afternoons, and the morning show was like the morning mess. They had like 3 or 4 station vehicles out on 465 during morning drive, all taking up all 3 or 4 lanes, depending on where they were at, but they were all doing 55 miles an hour.
Oh, I would have hated that.
And so they were all doing the speed limit, but that was the task, and it was being reported in newscasts on every channel. It was getting some good publicity for the radio station. But
was it good publicity?
It was all publicity is good publicity for the most part. But but they were doing they were doing this. They were the speed limit in all 3 or 4 lanes, depending on where you were at.
Were they doing it to showcase how crappy the speed limit was?
Probably.
Because if that's the case, okay.
They were doing it to get attention and get,
Because I've never bought all publicity as good publicity. You think Subway and Jared Fogle feel that way? You think Penn State football feels that way?
There may be a few exceptions to the rule.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, I would never listen to that station again if I got stuck behind that.
All I'm saying is, but they were doing the speed limit. They were doing the speed limit. So they were trying to make a point, but they were also, they mostly wanted publicity.
Nigel, there's a story in the Wall Street Journal about how nicknames for friends or your kids may be going extinct. People don't do nicknames anymore. And yes, this was a hard piece of journalism here that the Wall Street Journal did.
Oh, boy.
The writer of this story has 5 kids and was surprised that none of them or their friends have any nicknames for each other. So, you a nickname guy? You got nicknames for your kids?
I mean, for our kids, yeah. I mean, we still do Bubba and Sis.
Okay.
I don't know that our kids' friends have nicknames for each other. People called me Nige, or still refer to me as Big Nige sometimes.
Right.
When I was in my 20s, like it was mostly just last names.
Right.
Like my buddy Fisher, it was Fish. That was his nickname, I guess, but it was part of his name.
I've been Hammer for as long as I can remember,
of course.
And so have my kids.
You don't need a nickname. It's kind of a cool name anyway, so you don't need a nickname, but I'm trying to think.
Hamroid was one I had heard before, but I prefer not to use that one. Hamroid. At home, we call Chris Bubs because he's the older brother, and Jacob is either Jakes or the Jakester. Nothing too creative there, but I never hear any of their friends use anything other than their last name.
I don't either.
That's it.
The last name is usually the standard. I feel like it's been that way for a while. I'm trying to think. Oh! I got the official mailman of the Hammer and Nigel show.
Mm-hmm.
Mailman in Brownsburg. The next time you see him, if you know who I'm talking about, just wave hi to him and say, "Hey, Pig, how are you?"
Pig. Okay.
All right? Just call it, "Hey, Pig."
Are you the official mailman? Yes. Pig.
No, just say, "Hi, Pig, good seeing you."
But if you're not sure who the official mailman is, like, you don't want to call the wrong person Pig.
Just take your chances. There's not that many mailmen.
Roll the dice.
Yeah,
okay. All
That's
right.
the only one I can think of right now.
So, Allison, we're going to play a little game here. Can you identify who I'm speaking about based off their nickname alone?
Oh.
Okay? I'm going to give you the nickname of somebody famous.
Okay.
You have
famous
to
people.
tell me
Okay.
who the real person is. Number 1, Air. Air. A-I-R.
The only thing that comes to mind is Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Okay.
Air Jordan, the entire brand.
Yep.
All right, 1 for 1. Number 2, the round mound of rebound. Who is the round mound of rebound?
I get this.
No, I have no idea. Can I have a hint?
Television analyst, controversial.
Bald.
Terrible.
That's a terrible call. Terrible call.
I'm going to go with Dr. Phil.
Charles Barkley.
Okay.
Close.
I just heard bald and TV personality.
All right, this one's from the world of political lore. Old Hickory.
Old Hickory. It sounds like a president or something, like an old president. I don't know. Abraham Lincoln.
Andrew Jackson.
Oh, really?
Andrew Jackson,
so I was
Old
on the
Hickory.
Right track.
You were in the right
you were
track.
there.
Old Hickory, huh?
The Merchant of Death. Who is the Merchant of Death?
I got this one.
Dang it. This one does sound familiar.
This is a more recent one.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He was acquired in a deal for Brittany Griner between two nations.
So the Merchant of Death.
Real name is...
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten the real name.
Victor Boot.
Vic Boot.
Vic Boot.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And
I
last
would've not
one,
got that one.
the Great One. Who is known as the Great One? It's a sports term.
These sports ones.
It's a sports
I have no
guy.
idea.
Started his career
Here.
professionally here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
What sport?
If I give that to you, I think you're going to get it.
She might not get it.
I
Give it to
do
her.
not know
Hockey.
sports. Hockey player. Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky. There you go. You
Nope.
got it.
Nope. You said Gretzky.
Wheel of Fortune, they'd say no. Absolutely not.
That's right.
I think for Hammer Nigel rules,
Sorry.
that's a yes. Wow. 2 out of 5.
So, Nigel, we mentioned earlier in the program that today is 4/21, National Surprise Drug Test Day for the folks that imbibed in 420 yesterday. You know what else today is?
No.
Today is Egg Fart Monday.
The day after Easter is Egg Fart Monday. Egg Fart Monday is not a real holiday. However, it's still a good idea to practice social distancing in your home, especially after your dad ate all of the egg salad from the dyed Easter eggs. Turn up the ceiling fans. Don't forget to wear your medical mask inside. Light a scented candle and crank up the Febreze. And happy Egg Fart Monday. Egg Fart Monday is still not a real holiday.
Yeah, but it might as well be.
Oh, well, wait a minute. They didn't mention deviled eggs. Oh, man.
Dude.
I heard you talking about your wife's deviled eggs over the weekend. My wife cooked up a mean plate as well.
Yeah. When you eat a bunch of deviled eggs and you chase it with beer and maybe some beans and some other stuff, you better have the Febreze ready. You better have a bonfire ready.
You better have Imodium AD ready. You better have some stomach Pepto-Bismol possibly.
And be ready to sleep on the couch.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now,
get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 61,995, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
City water or well water, get better water with C&J. Best prices of the year at C&J. Great systems, great people too. Just call them 317-733-SOFT.
Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
The Home and Garden Show hits the road again this week, and they're headed to the Decorators Show House and Gardens at 5676 North Pennsylvania. Join Pat, Denny, and the gang this Saturday 9 to 1 as they broadcast live from the Decorators Show House and Gardens.
All right, Matt Baer, what are we looking at?
Southbound 69 after Campus Parkway. Left lane has reopened from that crash. Right shoulder still blocked, so we're still slow from Brooksville School Road back to Campus Parkway, but the delay is thinned down since the fast lane has reopened. Inbound 69 slow off 96th Street down to 82nd. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 slow off 21st to Meridian Penn. Delay continues from the north split to Fletcher Avenue. Eastbound 70 stop and go Belmont to West Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
61 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Coming up after 5 o'clock, I'm getting a little annoyed with the Signal chat app. More controversy with that. We'll hit on that here in just a few minutes. Hammer, there's a new survey out that basically covers polite ways to tell someone to F off or F you.
Polite ways.
Very polite ways.
Okay.
So instead of, I think we've covered this before, actually. Instead of flipping off another driver, blow them a kiss.
Now, I will not blow them a kiss.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to give them the thumbs up. Or wait, or no. Was it the thumbs up?
It was the thumbs up.
Okay.
Right. Now, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with, instead of flipping somebody off, giving them a thumbs up?
Or thumbs down. It was thumbs down.
Oh, it was thumbs down.
Right.
But blowing a kiss is not.
Yeah, I'm not blowing a kiss. That's how you end up getting shot out on the roadways.
You're saying the chances are equal. You honk at somebody, you either flip them off and or blow them a kiss. You got a 50-50 chance of getting shot.
I think there's more of a chance if I blow them a kiss, I'm going to get shot than I am if I just honk. People honk all the time. Somebody comes up to you and either blows you a kiss or maybe you think it's dedicated to your wife or girlfriend. Look, you got to expect a little shrapnel coming back your way.
All right.
But if you give somebody a thumbs down, I really feel like they feel disappointed.
Survey, yeah, right. Yeah, they weren't getting the reaction he wanted. Survey, polite ways to tell someone F you. Yeah, this is have the day you deserve. It's hard to call you out for it because it could be like meant to be in a nice way.
Have the day you deserve. If somebody says that to me, instead of just telling me to F off, okay, I feel better about that.
Here's one. Bless your heart. I think that's a Southern thing.
That's not even really an FU, though. That's an you're a moron.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when you hear AOC up there talking about, well, socialism is the best thing in the world. Oh, sweetheart, bless your heart.
I don't know if any of these others like polite ways to tell someone F you. I'll pray for you.
Okay, that's good. Whether you're mad at me or not, if you want to pray for me, that's fine. Do whatever you have to do. The more prayers, the better. I've done some things in my life. I'll take all the prayers I can get right now.
You do something stupid, you want to tell somebody to F off, instead say this. How amusing for you.
Then you get beat up. Not only are you like trying to get mouthy to somebody, you come off like a nerd. And guess what happens to nerds sometimes? Whether it's middle school, whether it's high school, whether it's later in life, you still end up getting put in a locker, metaphorically speaking.
Let's see what else. I don't know. Just smile. Somebody, if you're in an argument with somebody and they tell you to just smile instead of F off, is that the equivalent?
That one might not be bad. So if you've got somebody just losing their mind, right? So imagine Rob Kendall's just cracking up and he's ripping on the Republicans. I can't believe this or that. And you just look at him and smile and laugh. You know how ticked off he's going to get because of that? His head might spin around like Beetlejuice almost. So I can get with that. When was the last time somebody flipped you off or told you to F off? Non-wife related.
Or non-work related.
Non-work related, non-wife related. Not Lindsay or me.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember a flip off probably last year. I thought I was okay pulling out in front of. I feel like I had multiple stories like this. I pulled out in front of a guy and I thought I had more room and I didn't, and he didn't get out of my way. And he just laid on his horn and stuck his arm out that window. And he gave me one of these. There's different ways to flip people off.
Sure.
Like, and he gave me like you curve each finger.
The bent fingers?
Yes, the bent finger except the middle finger.
Right.
And with the thumb sticking out.
Yeah, I'm not a thumb out guy.
Like, I feel like that's extra FU.
I'm a tuck guy. I like them all tucked in, nice and tight, where you can only see the finger.
That's easy and quick, but I feel like you have to put effort into when you're tucking and sticking out.
Right.
I'm just saying. That's what I think.
Okay. Let us know what you think on the YouTube chat, WIBC's YouTube chat. Give us a like.
If you're like me, you spend a lot of time in the garage, especially in the summer. That's where the beer fridge is at. That's where the outdoor TV is. And you get a lot of work done in the garage, but maybe your garage floor is kind of a mess. It's cracked, it's old, it's stained and unmaintained. You got to call Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Man, Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in. My new Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. They came in within a day, changed the entire look and feel of my garage floor, and they just came back to do the utility room in my basement. It looks fantastic. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com, or call them at 751-9070.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field, and my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO, AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
It's the strongest hearts that remind us to cherish the moments. It's the grandmas who made us sit up straighter, the grandpas who showed us old records, and the parents who were embarrassingly loud at our games. It's those hearts that are anything but ordinary. Caring for extraordinary hearts for decades, Franciscan Health knows heart care is more than just a name on a chart. It's somebody who shaped your whole life. Heal your heart today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
For the Pope. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Pope Francis's cause of death has been revealed. Here's Fox's Kristen Goodwin with more.
The Vatican revealing Pope Francis died of a stroke that put him into a coma and led to heart failure. The 88-year-old's passing coming weeks after he recovered from a life-threatening respiratory infection, spending nearly 40 days in the hospital, mostly in critical condition. Mourners gathering in St. Peter's Square to pay tribute. Vice President J.D. Vance, who met with the pontiff just a day before his death, saying in a post online, "My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him." President Trump ordering all flags in the U.S. to be flown at half-staff in his honor, saying Pope Francis was a good man. He worked hard. He loved the world. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
President Trump says he and the First Lady will attend the Pope's funeral in Rome. The war between Israel and Hamas continues after attempts to reach a ceasefire fail, and Israel vows to destroy Hamas entirely. Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv with more.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a special address over the weekend, talking about his military, saying they will increase ground and air operations against Gaza. The IDF now controls more than 30% of the Palestinian enclave, amid reports that additional reservists could be called up to expand operations.
Regarding Hamas in Gaza, the military pressure works.
Despite the prime minister's claim that the military pressure works, 59 hostages remain in Hamas captivity, including American citizen Idan Alexander.
Houthi rebels are saying U.S. airstrikes on Yemen's capital have killed 12 people and wounded 34 others. The U.S. military has ramped up its campaign against the group, which has been targeting shipping in the Red Sea. The Houthis, the last militant group in Iran's self-described axis of resistance. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Somehow the driver made it out. You can enjoy some sun this afternoon and even more tomorrow and Wednesday. The next rain day is possibly Thursday. The temperatures drop to 59 in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
1043, you could disregard EMS.
individuals.
You're hearing the sounds of a huge fire on Interstate 65 near Roselawn in northern Indiana, where a tanker truck caught fire and may have exploded this afternoon. I-65 is shut down near exits 230 and 240. If you go that way, you will be directed off the interstate because of damage to the surface. The cleanup is expected to take into the night. The driver of the tanker made it out and was not hurt, say state police. You may have heard about a tight state budget and that it could mean some services are cut. State Representative Gregory Porter of Indianapolis says he doesn't want to see any cuts, but Republicans are barely acknowledging Democrats as they craft the state budget.
We're asking to be full partners in this. I know we have a speaker, you have the governor, but we as Democrats, the ones that represent, it's about 40 of us in the House and the Senate, we want to be part of that number.
The Democrat plan includes an extra $2 tax on each pack of smokes, which Porter says could mean $800 million toward the budget. Two guys in Austin accused of making meth. They were found out when the state's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force went to the house on an unrelated matter. That's how state police put it. This all started Friday. Troopers had to go back and get another warrant when they found the meth-making materials. They finally arrested 29-year-old Ryan Napier and 34-year-old Jonathan Pennington. The NFL Draft is Thursday. The Colts are working on getting it right. John Herrick with General Manager Chris Ballard.
The Colts have the 14th pick in the first round. Sometimes you're confronted with the idea of either trading back or making a trade to move up in the draft. Ballard laid out what would go into a situation where moving up would be necessary.
We need to move up because, this is the last really good player that we have ranked at this tier that we think is worth this value. I mean, all that comes into play on draft day. We have a good idea going in.
He says his staff does a tremendous job knowing what the needs are for each team, both in front of and behind them. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
It's spring selling season. The rates are down, activity is up, and now is the best time in years to sell your home, but some are sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize equity and minimize hassle is the key. That's why you need Mark Dietel. Maybe what you want is a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Andrew in downtown Noblesville said, recently retired, our goal was to sell our home of 30 years, buy an RV, and spend summers traveling to Montana and winters in Arizona. Mark Dietel's team made it happen fast. We went under contract in 3 days over asking price with no contingencies. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended. The agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel today. 317-755-4232 to get all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, Dietel, markdietel.com.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
All right, heading past Brownsburg on westbound 74. Stop and go traffic after State Road 267 for about a mile. Northwest side, northbound 465. Slow from 86th Street to 865. Eastbound 465. Stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65. Slow roll 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70. Stop and go traffic. Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. South side. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from I-69 over to Harding Street. And Fisher's crash southbound 69 after Campus Parkway on the right shoulder, and a crash downtown College Avenue at New York. Traffic sponsored by True Green. True Green, get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRUgreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Skies are looking to turn mostly clear for our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're in for a brighter and less windy Tuesday with highs finding their way into the mid 70s with dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
And I'm getting a little worn out with this new, with the Signal chat app that the military brass and people are using high up in the Trump administration. I'm sorry, I am. When this first came out, What happened? Somebody from was it the New York Times or the Washington Post got added to...
The Atlantic.
Oh, the Atlantic, yes. They got added to this chat that involved Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, and Tulsi Gabbard, and J.D. Vance, and they were talking about how they were going to bomb these terrorists, and the guy printed all these, like, he got added to this chat somehow through the Signal app. It's happened again, but this time it's a little bit different, right?
So the Pentagon has claimed that Pete Hegseth is sending his wife and brother sensitive information about government issues, right? Okay. Nothing classified. Let's be 100% clear. Nothing classified, but there's a couple leakers inside the Pentagon who clearly don't like Donald Trump and they don't like Pete Hegseth. And the minute they find something squirrely, bada bing, bada boom, they're rushing to liberal outlets.
And I get that. I totally get that. But the fact that the Secretary of Defense is sending anything of significance to his wife, classified or non-classified, if it has to do with the federal government, that's a little bit of a problem for me. Now, if he was saying, hey, could you pick up some cottage cheese on the way home? All right, whatever. But I don't think that would be news. We wouldn't be talking about it right now. So, no, I understand there are nefarious actors still probably within the administration that are leaking some of this stuff. I get it, but I'm a little tired of it. I mean, we didn't learn our lesson the first time with the Signal chat app.
And if it's not anything important, then just talk to her when you get home. Maybe call your brother. Just say, yeah, it was a really stressful day today. Whatever. That's
or just
fine.
Use iMessage.
Do something. But the use of the Signal app, there's somebody clearly that does not have your best interests at heart here. And again, if this were classified information, I'd be substantially tougher on Pete Hegseth. But it sounds like this is just nonsense. And the folks that are in there that are just ticked off that Trump is the president and Hegseth is the boss of the Pentagon now, they're making a big deal out of, I don't know if it's nothing or not, but they're making a big deal out of this. Here's the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president stands strongly behind Secretary Hegseth, who is doing a phenomenal job leading the Pentagon. And this is what happens when the entire Pentagon is working against you and working against the monumental change that you are trying to implement. Secretary Hegseth was nominated for this position because he is standing up for the war fighter, the men and women in uniform who are putting their lives on the line to protect our country and our homeland. And unfortunately, there have been people at that building who don't like the change the secretary is trying to bring, so they are leaking and they are lying to the mainstream media. We've seen this game played before. The secretary is doing a tremendous job, and the president stands strongly behind him.
And don't look, she's absolutely right. There's this opinion piece in Politico right now from a former top Pentagon spokesperson. This opinion piece detailing a month from hell inside the Pentagon hammer.
A month from hell.
And I do believe there are nefarious actors trying to split up and trying to divide Hegseth and Trump. And, I get it. I totally understand it. And I believe it. I wholeheartedly believe it. But enough with the Signal app. Okay?
Just put Signal down.
That's just there's other, I would assume there's platforms that are within the military industrial complex, the Pentagon, the people that are working in that industry that don't have to, download it from iTunes.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
And I've probably got that wrong too. And I'm being, I'm trying to be sarcastic there, but I look, and I understand that people want to split these people apart. They want the divide. They see how strong they are together. Look at the headlines on Drudge Report. White House looking for new Secretary of Defense.
Okay, come on. Let me just stop that right there because Donald Trump spoke earlier today. He was at the White House. The big Easter egg roll was taking place at the White House today. All the kids were there, but Trump did speak to the press. And while Caroline Leavitt is upset at the Pentagon members for leaking things out, Donald Trump wanted to remind everybody that, oh, by the way, Pete Hegseth has done an awesome job. Recruiting has never been higher. And ask the Houthis how they think Pete Hegseth is doing.
He is doing a great job.
Why do you still have confidence?
Because he's doing a great job.
Even if he's sharing...
Ask the Houthis how he's doing. Ask the Houthis how much dysfunction there's none. Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. We have the highest recruitment numbers I think we've had in 28 years. No, he's doing a great job. It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees. You know, he was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people, and that's what he's doing. So you don't always have friends when you do that.
So what would you rather have here? Like, pick your controversy. On one side, you've got, I can't believe he's using the Signal app to talk to his wife and brother.
Yeah.
And on the other side, holy crap, recruiting is through the roof, and we got dead terrorists.
Yeah,
pick your fighter.
That's why I'm telling you, these people are trying to split and divide the inner workings of the Trump administration. And I'll admit, I came on this segment talking about how critical I was of that. But I'm not trying to divide and split. And by the way, the Houthis are not like the Houthi and the Blowfish fan club.
No. Very different.
These are
vastly different.
Military terrorist organization in Yemen.
Houthis, technically.
Houthi.
The Houthis. Ask the Houthis.
Hold my hand.
Cracked review. Everybody had it.
I can listen to that CD front to back, back to front.
Seriously, 1990, what was it, 3, 4-ish, whenever that came out, everybody in America had that CD and Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. It didn't matter whose car you got into. If it was a dude, they had that Hootie and the Blowfish CD, maybe some Pearl Jam, maybe some hip-hop, depending on what they're into. But Hootie was a part of the rotation, and if it was a chick, that CD, along with Alanis Morissette, was being played in that car.
Hold my hand, Melania. Hold my hand.
The Dolphins are making me cry. Dolphins make me cry. Matt Bear.
Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Harding Street into the South Split. A 6-minute delay, crash downtown. Southbound 6570 in Washington, exit 111. That's blocking the right shoulder. We are jammed up into the North Split. Westbound 70 starting to back up from rural. Southbound 69 crash between Campus Parkway and Brook School Road on the right shoulder. No delay there. Just please slow down. Watch out. Eastbound 465 stop and go Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Get 2 slices of pizza plus a Mountain Dew 20-ounce, all for $5 with Speedy Rewards. Pizza time is now. Valid through April 29th, 2025. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I only want to be with you, Melania. I don't like horse face. I only want to be with you.
And then if you want to take it down to soft Trump.
Yes.
Time. Why you punish me, time? I only want to be with you. And you got to crank it back up.
Let her cry. Let that horse face cry. Let the horse face cry. Let her cry. Who cares?
You're me.
The Houthis.
61 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
And my wife and I are thinking about getting some more work done with Indy decorative concrete. And we got to do it now, though, because I need to get rid of an old junky deck and replace it with some awesome custom stamped concrete. So right now, what Indy decorative concrete is doing is they're offering free demolition. You got an old deck or maybe a cracked concrete that you want to replace, they'll remove it for free at no cost. But this deal only lasts until April 30th. Go to IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. My wife and I love our front porch and sidewalk that Indy Decorative Concrete completely turned. It was basically falling apart. They came in, and I just wanted to go with a basic generic concrete that looked the same as before. But once we saw what Indy Decorative Concrete could do in terms of making the space actually bigger, a stamped unique look, they were amazing. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Are you feeling more tired, moody, or off balance than usual? Struggling with sleep, low libido, weight gain, or brain fog? Join us for our free Holistic Integration educational seminar, Unlocking Hormonal Health, A Natural Way Forward for Men and Women, Wednesday, April 30th at 6 p.m. You'll hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio.
What we are doing with structure function care is getting the body to work. So we don't give hormones or endocrine anything. What we do is we get the building blocks that the body needs to correct itself. And it's a lot more permanent.
The Holistic Integration free educational seminar, Unlocking Hormonal Health, Wednesday, April 30th at 6 p.m. Plus, receive 20% off our in-depth Vibrant Hormone test that will reveal exactly where your hormone levels stand. Attend in person or on Zoom and reserve your seat by calling 317-848-8048 or online at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Hendricks County.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show. Transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney.
Are you still considered an influencer once you've ruined a brand?
I was just thinking that. And not only a brand, one of the biggest names in the beer industry in the world.
Bud Light.
Ruined it. Oh, yeah, it wasn't Dylan's fault. It was Hennessy, the marketing specialist that hired Dylan to be the, the social media influencer face of Bud Light.
Right.
Anyway, Dylan Mulvaney, again, a man like cosplaying, trying to be a little girl, has expressed interest in moving to the UK permanently. Hammer, are you okay with this?
Absolutely. I love it. I love it when stupid people do stupid things that they'll later regret. And listen, if you want to be a transgender cosplay girl, that's fine. But if you're going to the UK to expect things to be easier for you, as Joe Biden once says, and I quote, "Get ready, bow," because the UK Supreme Court recently ruled that transgender women do not fit the legal definition of a woman. This is the UK Supreme Court. They made a decision on what a woman was. But because professional victim Dylan Mulvaney says everybody here in America is mean because they revolted when I became part of Bud Light's brand, thought it'd be better to go overseas, go over the pond. That's not going to work out for you there.
How did the Supreme Court in the UK come up with the definition of a woman, but Joe Biden, the guy that nominated Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, when they asked her what a woman was, she was like, I'm not a biologist. Don't ask me. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I will answer that with a question. Who did you just say nominated that woman for the court?
Joe Biden.
Thank you. There you go. You got a guy that can't walk upstairs, walk downstairs, that can't speak without performing acts of gibberish, one right after the other. We did 4 years of bits called The Gibberish Man, and you're wondering why he picked somebody to be on the highest court in the land that doesn't know the difference between a man or a woman. There you go. It's all Joe Biden. Everything sucks, goes back to JB.
And like you said, Dylan Mulvaney, an idiot. Why would he move there? There's more social and civil rights here in the United States than there are in the UK.
Hey, let's stop talking about it because I don't want to talk him out of it. I want him to go.
Okay, sorry.
Please go overseas, become an influencer for soccer, for Benny Hill reruns, or whatever the hell they do over there. Knock yourself out. Go find Heiderscheid. I think she's working with Live Golf somewhere. And maybe you guys could have a reunion.
For the first time in over a decade, Waffle House has added a new type of waffle. This sounds awesome. The strawberry shortcake waffle launched earlier this week. Are you okay with this?
No. But here's why.
Wow.
If you are an executive at Waffle House and you have waffle in your name, why does it take 10 years for you to come up with the idea of putting strawberries on waffles? It should not have taken that long. I thought they'd already did this. I thought you could go to Waffle House and get like the strawberries and the whipped cream and all that kind of stuff on there.
Chocolate chips.
Right.
Yeah.
They're rolling this out like it's some sort of groundbreaking new idea. Hold on. You're going to love this. We're thinking outside the box. We're going to put strawberries on waffles.
No way.
This has been 10 years in the making, people. A decade of... we had to fire 57 people here at Waffle House, but it was well worth the time. Like, everybody kind of thought they already did this, right? This isn't anything new, but good for them. I'm glad they finally came around to it. Coming up next, syrup on waffles from Waffle House.
What a novel idea.
Oh, hang on to your panties, girls. It's going to be wild. And this brings us to great moments in Waffle House history. This is the news story. And it's kind of the Waffle House bingo card, right? A woman was busted for dancing naked outside of a Waffle House in the parking lot, licking a man's face.
38-year-old Freedom Zobrist was asked to leave the property for trespassing. Employees say that's when Zobrist became verbally abusive and threatening. Zobrist then walked to the middle of the parking lot and pulled her pants down, exposing herself. Zobrist then attempted to grab an employee's and when he tried to stop her, she licked both sides of his face. Zobrist is facing multiple charges, including lewd and indecent exposure, battery, and assault.
Why, if that was a news story, why did we have to bleep it? What did she grab?
I didn't know if we could put the word that rhymes with weenus on. I wasn't sure. She says the word that rhymes with weenus. I feel like we probably could have been okay with it.
Nah,
but
I think you probably made the right decision now that I didn't know what she was referring to. Maybe she tried to grab his buttocks or his foot. I don't know.
Allison, can we play the last half of that? Because one, we're going to listen to the beep, and I feel like we could have been okay. But two, did anybody else catch the both, the BOLTH?
Oh, you hate that, don't you?
That the news anchor did.
down, exposing herself. Zobrist then attempted to grab an employee's and when he tried to stop her, she licked both sides of it.
Oh, come on, man. You're a news anchor. You can't be saying both.
Both.
Both?
You said weenus. Do you know what a weenus is? Allison, do you understand? Like, if I say weenus,
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'll let you explain it.
It's the skin on your elbow.
Yes.
I think we've talked about this before,
Have we talked about this before?
I never heard about it until you brought it up to me the first time.
My kids informed me of
Yes, you learn that as a kid and you think it's hilarious because it is.
I did not learn that as a kid.
The skin at the end of your elbow that's kind of flimsy and looks like kind of sacky.
You're talking about a sacky weenus. I'm thinking about something else. I'm sorry. Totally thinking about something else. I did not know that was called weenus.
Do you want to do? Okay, wait. Do we have time to do?
Let's do one more.
Jelly roll?
No,
I'm
so worn out by Jelly Roll. My God, every day there's some story about Jelly Roll.
Although this one, let's make sure and do the Jelly Roll one later this week because this one's pretty funny.
If you want to do it now, let's do it now. Let's get it over with. I'm so worn out by this fat dude.
I think you'll like this one. I think you will.
Jelly Roll and Luke Bryan were on the Jennifer Hudson show the other day, and she asked him, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you while performing? Jelly Roll did not hold back.
I pooped myself one time.
All right.
I did. I'm sorry. I was confident it was all there. It was not. I watched this crowd go from loving me to just being completely out. Just completely.
All right, I'm all right with that.
Okay.
You won me over with that one.
Are you okay with that story?
Yes.
Okay.
But, man, I feel like they're going to overexpose this dude. He was at WrestleMania this weekend. He's on every single, thing on social media now.
He weighs 300 pounds. I don't think it's possible to overexpose the guy.
I think it's great what he's doing to help people.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight and helps the juveniles in detention centers.
But, man, it just feels like they're shoving Jelly Roll down my throat. And that's a big dude to be shoving down my throat, especially if he's out here pooping himself. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Fire in the sky and on the road. Temperatures cooling this afternoon. Now 58 in downtown Indy. Partly sunny for the rest of the day. Sunny Tuesday. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The flames thick, heavy, and dancing all over Interstate 65 this afternoon at the expense of a tanker truck that caught fire near Roselawn in northern Indiana. Now state police say going that way will get you diverted off the interstate as they get everything cleaned up, which could take well into the night. A man shot Constable Deputy Sheila Jones outside the Family Law Center in Harris County, Texas this afternoon. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez held a press conference discussing the investigation into who shot the suspect.
At this point, we're still trying to determine, obviously HPD will determine how many deputies may have shot, but I know at least one.
Both the deputy and suspect were shot and both are listed as stable in the hospital. Flags are at half-staff in Indiana, or at least have been ordered so by Governor Braun, and thousands of people have gathered in mourning after the death of Pope Francis at the age of 88. Fox's Kristen Goodwin.
The Vatican revealing Pope Francis died of a stroke that put him into a coma and led to heart failure. The 88-year-old's passing coming weeks after he recovered from a life-threatening respiratory infection, spending nearly 40 days in the hospital, mostly in critical condition. Mourners gathering in St. Peter's Square to pay tribute. Vice President J.D. Vance, who met with the pontiff just a day before his death, saying in a post online, "My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him." President Trump ordering all flags in the U.S. to be flown at half-staff in his honor, saying Pope Francis was a good man. He worked hard. He loved the world. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Chris, looking downtown, it's a crash southbound 6570 at Washington Street. It's on the right shoulder, causing traffic to back up into the north split and onto westbound 72 Rural Street. And we look at inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 75-minute delay from Belmont into the south split. Crash on the northwest side, 86th Street at Northwest Boulevard. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Skies are looking to turn mostly clear for our Monday night with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're in for a brighter and less windy Tuesday with highs finding their way into the mid 70s with dry air in place. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Pope Francis dead at the age of 88. Donald Trump has ordered the flags to be flown at half staff to honor Pope Francis. The Archdiocese of Indianapolis, they've released a statement. Archbishop Charles C. Thompson, the 7th Archbishop of Indianapolis, was appointed by Pope Francis back in June of 2017. In a statement about the Pope's death, Thompson said that, quote, he was a good and faithful servant. So now, what happens next? Let's go down this road here. I'm going to call this next part, Nige, Popin' for Dummies.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're wondering what's going to happen next, this is Popin' for Dummies. So the conclave is going to be assembled here. It's also during this time that the cardinals under the age of 80 who are eligible to participate are summoned to Rome. They've got to meet in the secret conclave inside the Sistine Chapel, and they're going to have their secret closed-door meetings and try to figure out who they want to be the Pope. This is going to be anytime between now and 20 days from now.
Well, I've read everything I need to know from Dan Brown and the Da Vinci Code, so
okay,
go ahead. But
what was that movie that just came out? Was like nominated for an Oscar a year or two ago about the conclave. Was that what it was called?
It was conclave.
Conclave
had a very bizarre ending too. I actually spent money and rented it, and I was like, oh, really? Okay, whatever.
So after
but
the
go ahead. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but go ahead.
After the conclave is assembled and they have their little closed door get-togethers here, 15 to 20 days after the Pope's death, they then elect the new Pope. Now, the candidate is formally asked in the Sistine Chapel if he accepts the election, and then you get to choose your new cool Pope name. Now, you could ride or die with what you were born as, but it seems like every pope for the last 470 years has chosen to change their name, usually to honor some sort of predecessor.
Well, what if you were born with the name Dave and you wanted to go with that?
I think Pope Dave would be awesome. You'd be a man of the people.
Dave is a man of the people? That's the name?
Yeah. Like, who do you feel more comfortable reaching out to if you're having a crisis in your life based on your faith? Pope John, Paul,
Benedict,
Philip, Wheeler,
yes.
Pope Benedict, or Pope Dave? I feel like Pope Dave would talk to me just like I'm a normal dude.
Sure.
And then let's just say that the choice says, yep, I'm in. I'm going to change my Pope name because Poping ain't easy. And then you walk outside on the balcony. You wave to the masses. This is after the white smoke has been sent up in the air, so everybody knows to get to the square. That's it. That's Poping for Dummies right there. That's what's going to happen
just
next.
Summed it up. I mean, Cliff's Notes should hire you.
Thank you. Thank you. Pope Hammer. How would you like that? Pope Hammer.
Sure.
I think it'd be something worth looking into. Did you hear the rumors that Michelle Obama and former President Barack Obama may be on the outs?
Haven't we been hearing that for years?
Wasn't there a Jennifer Aniston angle to this story at one point to where Barack and Jennifer may or may not have been outed coming out of some hotel or something? I don't know. That's been a rumor for a while. But a couple weeks back, Michelle Obama was spotted somewhere she didn't have her wedding ring on.
Uh-oh.
And everybody was losing their minds. But you never wear a wedding ring either.
I wore it. Actually, I didn't wear it Friday. I don't know if she wants me telling everybody this. We had an incident with my wife's wedding ring where we can't find it.
It happens, man. It happens.
We are scrambling, and that's all I'll say. It sucks. But no, I did not hear the rumors that Michelle was spotted in public without her wedding ring.
Well, she appeared in L.A. this past weekend and wanted everybody to know, hey, still married, still got the wedding band on, so everybody can calm down just a little bit with all this divorce talk. So I figured, why don't we try to get the former president on the show, and he could address this. They did not return my messages. So
surprising.
Instead, we've got AI former President Barack Obama here to address these divorce rumors.
Let me be clear. The marriage between myself and Big Mike is rock solid. We need to end these rumors about it, and also the rumors about myself and Jennifer Aniston. I mean, think about it. Why would I want Jennifer Aniston's toned, soft body, firm cans, and amazing caboose when I could have someone holding me tight each night that looks like LeBron James in drag? AI Obama out.
It's an official statement from AI Obama in the current state of their relationship. Do you have your wedding ring on today, Nige?
I do not.
How often do you wear it?
When I go out with my buddies, and like if I'm, if I'm not with my wife and I'm in a public setting, I'm gonna wear my wedding ring. I don't like wearing jewelry. I don't wear watches a lot. I hate it. I just, I don't need to wear it here. But if I'm going on a golf trip with the guys or something, yeah, of course I'm going to have my wedding ring on.
So you'll wear it around the guys, but when you went to Coach's Tavern this past Friday, we got hot chicks to the left and right of you.
That was a slip up.
No.
That was a slip up. I did not mean to. That was an accident. That was an accident. I did not mean to. I left. It's sitting right there on. We have like a kind of a catch-all when we walk into our door from the garage, and
some people put their keys in it. You put your wedding ring in it. I get it. It makes sense, Nige.
Man, you're making it sound a whole lot worse than it really is. But boy, that does sound bad.
Oh, here's an idea. Somebody on the YouTube chat, get a tattoo of the wedding ring on your hand. So that way you don't have to wear jewelry, and it still says, I'm not out to find some strange.
My buddy Tony has that.
Okay.
He's got like some sort of weird webbed finger, like between his ring finger and his middle finger, and it looks like if he were to get into a swimming pool, he would just swim around in a circle.
He's like a duck.
He's like, yeah, of course. And so he can't wear a wedding ring, but Tony had a it's still there. It's a tattooed wedding ring.
So Duck Tony wears it because he's got webbed hands.
Yes.
You just choose not to.
I just don't like the feeling of it. No.
Speaking of divorces, have you heard this wild turn of events in former NASCAR champion Brian Vickers' divorce? Now, Brian Vickers was a NASCAR driver for a long time, won a bunch of races.
Yeah, but he hasn't been on the circuit for a while, has he?
No, he's been off for a couple of years. But
circuit, a word they even use for NASCAR?
The NASCAR circuit, I think.
Okay.
He's divorcing his wife, Sarah, because we're hearing more and more that she was one of Jeffrey Epstein's recruiters.
Oh.
So here's a little backstory here about Brian Vickers' wife. So let's go back a little bit. Remember when Epstein struck that plea deal in Florida in his first criminal case? This is back in 2008, long before the federal stuff, long before his suicide, air quotes.
And then people, rich guys and famous people still hung out with him afterwards.
Correct. So that plea deal in 2008 in Florida shielded from prosecution several associates who were paid to recruit girls for Epstein. One of the four named that we're finding out after years of, now that he's dead, we're getting this information. One of the four women named was Sarah Kellen, who was the wife of Brian Vickers. Now, she's been accused in multiple lawsuits of arranging massages and escorting underage girls to rooms where Jeffrey Epstein and this list of creeps would do inappropriate things.
I think that would be cause for divorce. If I found that out post-marriage at any point in time, it's lawyer. It's a conversation with a lawyer I'm having.
Now, to be fair, she has denied any wrongdoing. She previously went by the name Sarah Kensington. This is from a report in the Daily Beast, and she ran her interior design firm from a house that was owned by Epstein's brother Mark. In 2022, a U.S. district judge said that Sarah was, quote, criminally responsible in Epstein's sex trafficking scheme while sentencing Ghislaine Maxwell to 20 years in jail. She has never been criminally charged, even though a judge said she's in the mix here.
There's a lot of people in this case that have not been criminally charged, half of which are dead, which means there's only one left. What? Of course, there's nobody been criminally charged in this case. Where's Pam Bondi? Pam, Attorney General, please.
Okay with the RFK report, okay on the JFK stuff.
We talked about that on Friday, didn't we?
Martin Luther King stuff, okay, I get it. It's interesting to some, but we've got to get the Epstein stuff out there because Ghislaine Maxwell is still alive. She is in prison. Why is she in prison? What has she been charged with? If you're going to tell me she's been charged with obscuring underage women for Jeffrey Epstein, then who were the other clients? Because right now she's in jail.
If she was procuring his clients, who were the clients and who was paying for it all?
Correct. A list exists. We know it exists because it was for some reason closed by the prosecution, not the defense, but the prosecution, who, oh, by the way, happened to be the daughter of former FBI Director Lincoln Lyon James Comey. Now, why would the prosecution in this case, the people trying to put Ghislaine Maxwell away, want that list to be closed so nobody else could be charged? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's the list that we want. And I don't care who's on it. If Donald Trump's on that, prosecute him. If it's Democrats, if it's Bill Gates, whoever, all these rumors that are out there, prosecute him. Anybody on that list needs to go to prison. Open the list up right now. But for whatever reason, Nigel, and you said it best, we have no idea. Both sides are protecting their own, and that's gross, and that sucks.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
In Indiana, spring means spring cleaning, getting organized, putting away winter clothes, hosting, just kind of hosing down the patio furniture, all of that stuff. Make sure to add refreshing your financial portfolio to the list. My friends at Trajan Wealth, the money management professionals, the fiduciary advisors, can provide that much needed refreshing. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is Indiana to the core with principles like smart money management and hard work at their foundation. Call for your first consultation. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth, your fiduciary advisors, ready to customize a portfolio that reflects your timeline and your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRUgreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
Get tickets now for Tales from the Track with Graham Rahal, presented by Relay Indiana, Monday, May 19th. It's an exclusive evening hosted by Hammer and Nigel and Graham Rahal as he shares highs, lows, and behind-the-scenes moments of his remarkable racing journey. Tickets on sale now at WIBC.com.
And as of like 10 a.m. earlier today, only 24 tickets were left for that Graham Rahal event. 6 to 8 p.m. That night on the 19th. That is going to be a wild, fun night. Bucket list stuff if you're into cars, if you like the Indy 500. The access you're going to get, man, it's well worth it. So get those tickets right now at WIBC.com. Matt Bear, if somebody's going out to have a dinner tonight, maybe they're going to that Fuel playoff game up in Fishers. How are the roads?
Well, Hammer, we do have a crash in Fishers. This is southbound 69 before Brook School Road. It's on the right shoulder. Cleanup has been going on for a minute. No delay at the moment. Just know it's there. Downtown crash southbound 6570 Washington Street. It's on the right shoulder. Traffic backed up through the north split back to Rural Street. Eastbound 70, stop and go from Harding into the south split. Delay time at 3 minutes. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months. No interest or payments. Trust a local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
60 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, poor Katy Perry. She's reportedly regretting taking last week's Blue Origin flight up there with Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez, I believe, is Jeff Bezos' girlfriend. The entire charade has been mocked by so many people. Wait, you guys are all about the environment and woke, but yet you're spending millions of dollars and polluting everything and going up there for 10 minutes and it's all free. And
didn't one of them call themselves an astronaut?
Yeah, Gayle King was like, she compared herself to Alan Shepard at one point.
If being up in space for 2 minutes or less makes you an astronaut, then I'm a gynecologist. 2 minutes or less. If that makes you an expert in the field, then
hey, look, maybe if this happened,
got a big chuckle out of Allison on that one.
If it happened differently, I'm just saying maybe it would have been a little more dramatic.
They were 3 women blasted into space for an 11-minute mission, but suddenly they were sucked into an endless orbit. Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, and Gayle King are lost in space.
Oh, no.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future.
What?
That's all real.
And camaraderie. We're doing this
This was not a ride. This was a bona fide friggin' flight.
It was a ride.
Don't miss unexciting episodes each week of three women who believe they're really important when they're really just lost in space.
Have y'all been to space? Have you been to space? Go to space.
I mean, Gayle King, God bless her. I mean, all they did that whole entire that time that she was going up into space was show Oprah. Like Oprah was crying because she will forever be known as putting Gayle King on the map.
Right.
They're best friends, but Oprah is the power that, she's the woman that is Gayle King's boss, basically. I mean, really. And poor Gayle King is just apoplectic that people were calling it a ride into space.
The roller coaster at New York, New York in Las Vegas is longer than what they did on that weird Bezos rocket thing. Okay?
No,
so
it's not.
It's about 10, 12 minutes.
Are you
go
serious?
on a bunch of loop-de-loops.
Yeah, I've been on it, but it's not. It's been 15 years.
Oh, yeah, it's a good ride.
No kidding?
Especially if it's kind of a slow time in Vegas. If you go in the evening, you get your money's worth for sure.
When Gayle King mentions Alan Shepard, I'm out.
I'm just happy that the Pope lived long enough to see this historic, amazing achievement for mankind. Once he saw Gayle King go into space, he was able to say,
"Take me now, Lord.
Take me now, Lord. I've seen it all." It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Employee pricing. That's right. At Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, you can get employee pricing across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay on F-150s, on Super Duties, Explorers, all of them with employee pricing. And if you need something a little smaller but still want to be able to haul the crew and cargo around, the Edge is the perfect choice for you. And you'll definitely enjoy the excellent fuel economy. Plus, it's loaded with safety features. Get more to your door with Andy Moore Ford. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. And if you need to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Employee pricing on all your favorite Fords are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
The most extraordinary thing a woman can do is let herself be human. We try to do it all, sure, but what if we're just not feeling it? Like when the fatigue hits, but you gotta bring snacks to the soccer game? Or when the laundry's piling up, but that hot flash says, too bad. We get it. Franciscan Health has care for extraordinary women who can do it all, but don't have to. Visit franciscanhealth.org/OBGYN today.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J's got you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap just to convince you that it's that necessary to keep your water source reliable. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well cleanout with C&J. Great systems and great people too. 317-852-WELL.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing. Joining me now is really the head of the whole company. Lance thinks he's the boss, but it's really not. It's Jennifer. You're the proud mother of LD Smith Plumbing, whether you want the job or not. How much fun is it to see those 5-star reviews?
It is the best. We love to review those with the guys. To see their smiling faces and know that we have done such a good job in the field is just priceless. My goal is always to make their day a little bit easier. For any plumbing issue, it's ldsmithplumbing.com.
You were blessed to have a home large enough to raise a family. But now the kids have been on their own for a while, and the house seems a little different.